here. So it's holiday time and everybody wants glam, everybody wants red lips, everybody wants like glitter, and this is the time where you can actually go bold on both eyes and your lips and play it however you want. You have no rules in the holidays. Do whatever makes you happy. So this is a look that I came up with for holiday today, and I don't want to do like a very complicated look. I felt like it would be too difficult to recreate, and there's no point in doing a tutorial if it's too difficult. So I came up with this look. It's actually very simple, but it's also really glam, really, you know, fun to wear for holidays. So there's only one thing that I would have done a little different had I known before, which I should have known. I was using the Dose of Colors eyeshadow, and this is glitter eyeshadow. So anytime you use glitter eyeshadow, it's always better to go with like your eyes first and then go with your face. But I don't know what I was into today. I just did my base first and then my eyes, and there was a ton of fallout and I had to remove it. So if you're doing anything with glitter, or if you're recreating this look, I would suggest going with your eyes first and then face. So if you guys want to know how I came up with this look, then keep on watching. So I'm going to start with the moisturized face, and I'm going to use the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir. Especially because it's winter now and my face is really dry, I really like a facial oil when I know I'm using a foundation later on. And I'm also taking this under my eye and on my lips too to moisturize. And for the primer, I'm using the Becca Backlighting Priming Filter, and this is one of my favorite primers. Gives a very dewy, glowy look to the face, and I'm also actually mixing it with the foundation to make it more glowy. And for the foundation, I'm going to be using the Fenty Foundation. I really like this foundation. It gives just the right amount of coverage that I want, but it also gives a very beautiful finish. It can, although, cling on to the dry patches around my nose and around my mouth, but if I make sure I moisturize my face really well with a facial oil and I use a good primer, then this foundation looks beautiful. And I'm going back and just using the same sponge, and I'm dotting it on the places where I need more coverage, like the pigmentation around my face. And I'm using the Real Technique sponge to do this step. Next, for concealer, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this is a full coverage concealer and it doesn't crease as much. So I really like this concealer when I need a full face of makeup, but a little goes a long way in this concealer, so make sure you apply less. For setting my base, I'm going to be using the RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm going to use the same sponge to set under my eyes and ever so slightly all around my face. Contouring, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to be mixing the first two contour shades, and I'm just going to chisel the jawline and the cheeks and forehead just a little bit. And I'm also going to be doing a nose contour today, and I'm going to be using the brush comes with the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and this is the perfect brush to contour the nose, and I'm going to also take it around my eyebrows. For the bronzer, I'm using the Estee Edit bronzer just to warm up my face a little bit. And for the blush, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Blush Kit, and I'm going in with the plum shade out there. I really like this blush kit. I feel like it's really well pigmented and it also goes on really smooth. For the highlighter, I'm going to be using the Dose of Colors Mirame highlighter. This was a limited edition highlight. I don't know if it's still available, but if it is available, I would link it down in the description box below. But this is a very beautiful like golden color, and it's a very wet looking highlight, so it looks beautiful on the skin. And for the eyes, I'm going to prime my eyes first. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay primer to cancel out any veins that I have. And I'm setting my eye primer using the Kat Von D Banana shade. For my eyebrows, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. eyebrow pencil, and I'm going to fill in my eyebrows. So for the eyeshadow palette, I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette, and it's a Jaclyn Hill Morphe collection. I really like this palette recently. I've been using it almost every day. It's really pigmented and blendable, And I'm going to use this shade called MFEO, and I'm going to use that as a transition shade. And I'm going in with a shade called B. I'm using that as my brow bone highlight. Next, I'm going in with a shade called Pukey, and I'm going to use that as my crease shade. And I've been loving this shade as my crease shade recently. Next, I'm going to go with the shade called Roxanne. This is like a burnt orange kind of a shade. I'm going to use a smaller brush, and I'm going to concentrate more on the lower crease, and I'm just going to blend it really well. For the outer V, I kind of wanted to use like a green shade, you know, Christmas, green, red. So I used the shade called Enchanted, and I used that on my outer V. And I felt like this shade was a little bit patchier. Every other shade in this palette blends in really well, but this was really patchy and it was hard to work with. So I went with a clean blending brush and I blended all the harsh lines. And I wanted to go back into the same color and then add more pigmentation so it's not as patchy. Next, I went to the Dose of Colors eyeshadow palette, and I went with this green shade, and I thought I can layer it on top of the green, but this glitter didn't layer well, so I kind of gave up on that. And I went with this bronze shade and I added it all over my eyelid. And on top of it, I went with the golden shade too, just to give it a little bit more pop of color in it. But these colors are meant to be applied with your fingers, and a few shades are meant to be applied with a little bit of water and using your finger. All the instructions will be with the eyeshadow. And I'm going to blend all these harsh lines again. For the lower lash line, I'm going to be doing the same thing that I did on top, kind of go from transition crease to the outer V color. For my eyeliner, I'm going to be using the Stila Stay All Day liquid eyeliner. I'm doing like a wing liner, but not a dramatic wing. I'm doing a little tiny little wing. For my lower lash line, I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder brown eyeliner. And I'm going to use a brush to blend the eyeliner a little bit. Okay, so there was a lot of fallout, which is what I said in the beginning of this video. I did not realize how much fallout there would be. I used a wet wipe and removed all the glitter, and then I went again with like the concealer and did the same thing all over again, basically. Do yourself a favor and don't do this. Do the eye first and then the face, so you're skip on all this headache. Okay, so I'm using the highlighter Mirame, and I'm going in as my inner corner highlight. And my highlighter was removed a little bit because of the wipe, so I'm going back with the highlight. I'm going to curl my eyelashes today, and I'm using the Tweezerman eyelash curler. For mascara, I'm going to be using the TARTEIST mascara. And I actually received this in a boxer charm. And I really like this. It's not very clumpy. It kind of separates the lashes, but it also gives the volume and the length that the lash requires. Especially for someone like me who doesn't like false lashes and I just like mascara. This is a good mascara. So I'm going to be outlining my lips because I'm going to apply liquid lipstick so it would stay a long time. So I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild lip liner. This is a very creamy lip liner. And I'm going to go in with another Wet n Wild lip product, and this is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit. This shade is a beautiful shade. I'm not sure what shade it is. I would link it down in the description box down below, but this is a beautiful red shade that stays on all night long, and it does not budge at all. So I really love this color, especially for Christmas or New Year's Eve. I'm going to set my face using the CoverX Illuminating Spray. I love the nozzle in the spray. It also gives a nice glow to the face. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a big thumbs up if you did, and please subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys have a safe and happy holidays. Bye guys.